October 18th, 1998. The North Atlantic was unusually calm. Cargo vessels crossed these waters every day without incident. Among them was the MV Horizon Star, a modern cargo ship carrying machinery and supplies from Halifax, Canada, to Rotterdam in the Netherlands. There were 27 crew members on board, experienced sailors, veteran engineers, a captain who had crossed the Atlantic more than 100 times. According to every official report, it should have been another routine voyage. But shortly after midnight, everything changed. At exactly 12:43 a.m., Coast Guard radio station Halifax received an emergency transmission. The voice was calm, but strained. Mayday. Mayday. This is cargo vessel Horizon Star. Then, silence. Several seconds later, the radio crackled once more, a different voice, barely above a whisper. "They're here." Static overwhelmed the transmission. The signal ended. No coordinates, no explanation, no further communication. Within minutes, a Coast Guard rescue vessel left Halifax Harbor. Search aircraft were placed on standby. Every minute mattered. Maritime law treats every distress call as life-threatening. Yet one detail troubled the rescue coordinator. The Horizon Star had transmitted, but its automatic emergency beacon never activated. It was as if someone had called for help without wanting to be found. 4 hours later,
radar detected a vessel drifting nearly 60 nautical miles from its planned course. Dense fog covered the ocean. Visibility dropped below 50 meters. As the rescue crew approached, they expected chaos, smoke, fire, survivors waving for help. Instead, they found something far more disturbing: absolute silence. The Horizon Star wasn't sinking, it wasn't damaged, its engines were still running. Navigation lights remained on. The radar continued rotating. Every system appeared normal, yet not a single person answered repeated radio calls. The rescue captain ordered his crew to prepare a boarding team. Something was terribly wrong. The boarding team climbed aboard, weapons ready, cameras recording.
The bridge door was unlocked. Inside, navigation screens glowed normally. Coffee was still warm. A captain's jacket hung neatly behind the helm. The steering wheel turned gently with the motion of the sea. But the bridge was empty. The crew's dining hall told an even stranger story. 27 plates had been prepared. Meals sat untouched. Steam still rose from fresh soup. Bread remained warm. One chair had fallen backward, as though someone had stood up suddenly. But there were no signs of panic, no broken glass, no blood, no struggle. It was as if the crew had vanished. In the middle of dinner, investigators discovered the captain's official logbook. Every entry had been written with perfect precision. Weather, speed, engine performance. Everything appeared normal until the final page. The captain had begun writing. "Something is following us." The sentence stopped there. The pen was still resting on the page. The investigators gathered on the bridge. No one spoke. Every room they searched was empty. Then, a loud metallic sound echoed from below deck. Everyone turned. A security camera pointed toward the lower corridor. On the monitor, they watched a steel door slowly swing open. No one stood behind it, yet something had opened the door. Captain Morgan looked at his team. Nobody goes down there alone. Captain Morgan selected 4 members of the rescue team. Flashlights on, radios checked, body cameras recording. Together, they descended the narrow steel staircase into the lower decks. Every step echoed through the empty ship. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. Yet the engine room below continued to power the vessel. That should have been impossible. A cargo ship this size required engineers on duty around the clock, but there was no one, only the distant vibration of machines still doing their job. The engine room was alive. Massive diesel engines roared with steady precision. Pressure gauges read normal. Fuel pumps continued cycling. Cooling systems operated flawlessly. Every machine performed exactly as designed. Except, there wasn't a single engineer. Captain Morgan walked between the enormous engines. He stopped. On the control panel, someone had placed a pair of safety gloves. One glove still held a wrench. Whoever had been working here had vanished in the middle of a repair. Beside the galley, investigators found the ship's food storage freezer. The heavy steel door stood partially open. Cold air poured into the corridor. Inside, shelves were completely stocked. Fresh meat, vegetables, fruit. Everything remained untouched. Then, one investigator noticed something strange. Footprints, wet footprints, bare feet, leading into the freezer. None leading back out. The ship's communications room looked untouched. Emergency transmitters remained powered. Navigation records continued updating automatically. Then, without warning, the main radio activated. Static filled the room. Every investigator froze. Through the interference, a voice emerged, faint, broken. "Don't follow." Then, silence. The transmission had not come from shore. It came from somewhere aboard the Horizon Star. Hoping the ship's surveillance system held answers, investigators accessed the security archive. 12 cameras monitored every deck. Most recordings appeared normal. Crew members working, routine maintenance, evening meals. Then, at precisely 12:41 a.m., every camera froze. The image remained perfectly still for exactly 11 minutes. When recording resumed, the ship was empty. Crew lockers lined the hallway. Wallets, passports, family photographs, wedding rings. Everything remained. No luggage had been packed. No emergency supplies were missing. It wasn't the scene of an evacuation. It looked as though everyone expected to return, but never did. Deep inside the cargo hold, one investigator pointed his flashlight toward the steel wall. Long scratches covered the metal. They stretched from floor to ceiling. Too high for a human. Too deep to have been made accidentally. Captain Morgan examined the marks. They were fresh. Bare steel still shone beneath the paint. Whatever made them had done so recently. Cargo manifests listed 412 shipping containers. Investigators counted 411. One container was missing. Not lost overboard. Not damaged. Simply gone. Yet the locking mechanisms remained sealed. There was no space where the container should have been. It was as if it had never existed. Captain Morgan ordered one final sweep before sunrise. Every investigator checked their sector. Nothing. Then, one flashlight stopped. At the far end of the corridor, a shadow crossed the doorway. Too fast to identify. Captain Morgan sprinted forward. His team followed. They reached the corridor. Empty, but one cabin door was still swinging, slowly, as though someone had just walked through it. Captain Morgan refused to believe in ghosts. Every mystery had an explanation. Every disappearance left evidence. Back on the bridge, he spread the ship's original construction plans across the navigation table. Something immediately stood out. According to the blueprints, there should have been a maintenance corridor running beneath Cargo Hold 3. Yet, the corridor did not exist. Someone had sealed it. Long before the Horizon Star ever left port, guided by the blueprints, the team descended once more. Behind stacks of cargo, they found it, a steel door. completely welded shut. No identification, no warning labels, only layers of fresh weld marks. This wasn't original. Someone wanted this place forgotten. Engineers brought portable cutting equipment aboard. Sparks flew across the corridor. Minutes passed. Then, the final weld gave way. The steel door groaned open. A rush of stale air escaped, thick with dust, thick with silence. Whatever lay beyond had remained untouched. For decades, their light swept across. An empty chamber. No cargo, no machinery, no furniture. Just perfectly smooth steel walls. Then, Morgan noticed footprints, covered in dust, leading to the far wall. There was no door, yet the footprints stopped there. Captain Morgan stared at the wall. Every instinct told him something was hidden behind it. He slowly ran his gloved hand across the cold steel. Nothing. Then, his flashlight caught something unusual. A tiny circular indentation, barely visible beneath layers of dust. It wasn't part of the ship's original construction. Morgan pressed it. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then, a deep metallic vibration echoed through the compartment. Somewhere behind the wall, ancient gears began to move. Slowly, the steel wall began sliding sideways, inch by inch. No one spoke. Beyond it, another room emerged. Smaller, older, hidden. It wasn't listed on any blueprint. Shelves lined the walls. Every shelf held identical black metal storage boxes, untouched, waiting, as though someone expected to return one day. Morgan opened the nearest storage box. Inside, he found dozens of cassette tapes, each one carefully labeled by date. Beneath them, a portable tape recorder. The batteries still worked. He inserted the final recording. A voice filled the room, calm, exhausted. It was Captain Elias Whitmore, commander of the Horizon Star. If anyone finds this, do not stay aboard. The voices, they don't come from the sea. They come from inside the ship. The recording ended. Silence. Then, every flashlight flickered. Once, twice. Darkness. Total darkness. Only the sound remained. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Walking somewhere, just beyond the room. No one moved. No one spoke. Captain Morgan quietly whispered, "Count your team." 5 voices answered. Then, a 6th voice whispered, "I'm here." Emergency lights finally returned. The hidden room had changed. One shelf had moved. Behind it, a narrow vertical shaft descended into darkness. Cold air drifted upward. Morgan aimed his flashlight down. The beam disappeared, replaced by centuries-old masonry. Whatever this place was, it had existed long before the ship. The deeper they descended, the colder the air became. Then, their boots touched solid ground. At first, no one understood what they were seeing. The rescue commander's flashlight swept across the floor. 2 parallel steel rails stretched into darkness, railway tracks, beneath the Atlantic Ocean, perfectly preserved. Wooden sleepers remained intact. The iron showed almost no corrosion. It was impossible. There had never been a railway beneath this part of the sea. The investigators examined the tracks. Fresh dust, no footprints, no signs of recent movement. Then, a sound echoed through the tunnel. Long, low, haunting. A train whistle, not loud, not close, but unmistakable. Every member of the team froze. The rescue commander slowly raised his flashlight toward the darkness. Nothing. Only the rails, leading deeper underground. The team moved carefully along the ancient railway. Every footstep echoed through the tunnel. The rescue commander swept his flashlight across the dusty ground. Then he stopped. Fresh footprints, bare feet. They crossed the tracks. Slowly, calmly. as though someone had walked here only moments before. Yet the dust surrounding them remained untouched. No footprints leading in, no footprints leading away. Just a silent trail, appearing from nowhere and disappearing into the darkness. The footprints ended at a platform, an underground railway station, hidden beneath the Atlantic. Massive stone columns supported the ceiling. Rusted iron benches stood in perfect rows. A cracked station clock remained frozen. At 2:17 a.m., faded signs hung above the platform. Their lettering had almost vanished, yet one word could still be read. Terminus. The rescue commander felt the air grow colder. Something about this place felt occupied. The station had been silent for what felt like centuries. Then, the rescue commander's radio crackled, not with static, with a timetable announcement. A calm voice echoed through the tunnel. Attention, passengers. The next train will arrive shortly. The investigators looked at one another. There was no electricity, no working speakers. Yet the announcement continued. Somewhere beyond the darkness, metal wheels began rolling along the rails. Every member of the team stood perfectly still. The sound grew louder, steel grinding against steel. Slow, heavy, deliberate. The rescue commander raised one hand. No one moved. Far down the tunnel, a small light appeared. At first, it looked like a lantern. Then it grew brighter, larger. The beam wasn't searching. It was coming straight toward them. The rescue commander whispered, "Lights off." One by one. Every flashlight went dark. Only the approaching light remained. The light emerged first. Then, the outline, an old steam locomotive. Black, weathered, its iron body covered in salt and age. No smoke rose from its chimney. No fire burned inside. Yet the wheels continued turning. Slowly, silently. The locomotive rolled into the abandoned station. It stopped exactly in front of the investigators. No engineer, no passengers, only darkness. Behind its windows. For several seconds, nothing happened. The station remained silent. Then, the first passenger door unlocked. Click. It slowly opened. No one stepped out. The carriage was empty, or so it seemed. The rescue commander cautiously stepped closer. His flashlight swept across the worn wooden seats. Everything was covered in dust. Then, he noticed something impossible. A fresh footprint, appearing in the dust. One step, then another, as if someone invisible had just walked down the aisle. The rescue commander stepped aboard. The wooden floor groaned beneath his boots. His flashlight swept slowly across the carriage. Every seat was covered in decades of dust. Every window was clouded with salt. Every overhead luggage rack was empty. Yet, something felt wrong. The air inside the carriage was warm, warmer than the station outside, as if someone had only just left. Near the last seat, something caught the rescue commander's attention. A small piece of paper, resting perfectly on the floor, untouched by dust. He picked it up. It was a railway ticket, printed in faded ink. Destination, Terminus. Passenger name, Samuel Reed. Date issued, October 14th, 1926. Nearly 100 years ago, inside one seat pocket. The rescue commander found an old photograph. 7 people, standing proudly beside a steam locomotive. They smiled for the camera, but something immediately stood out. One face was familiar. The man standing beside the conductor wore the uniform of the Horizon Star. Beneath the conductor's desk lay a leather-bound ledger. Every passenger, carefully listed. Seat numbers, ticket numbers, destinations. Then, one final page, written in different handwriting. 7 new names, every one of them belonged to the missing crew of the Horizon Star. The rescue commander slowly turned the final page. His flashlight rested on the old ledger. Every investigator leaned closer. The last page contained no dates, no signatures, only one sentence, written in dark ink. The train only departs when every seat is occupied. Beneath the sentence, the passenger list ended at seat 31, but the carriage held 36 seats. 5 were still empty. The rescue commander looked back at his team. There were exactly 5 investigators. Without warning, a brass station bell rang. Once, then twice. Every light inside the carriage flickered. The old locomotive shuddered. Somewhere ahead, steam hissed. Wheels groaned. The rescue commander spoke calmly. Everyone off the train. No one argued. They moved toward the open door. Then, the door slammed shut. The carriage became silent. Then, footsteps. Slow, even, measured. They came from the front of the train. A figure emerged through the fog, wearing an old railway conductor's uniform. His cap was spotless, his coat perfectly pressed. But where his face should have been, there was only darkness. He stopped at the carriage doorway, raised one gloved hand, and quietly asked, "Tickets, please." The rescue commander remembered the old ticket. Without hesitation, he placed it into the conductor's hand. The conductor studied it, then stepped aside. The carriage door slowly opened. "Go," whispered the rescue commander. The investigators ran, one after another. They leaped onto the platform. The rescue commander was last. The instant his boots touched the stone, the train began to move. 3 days later, the Horizon Star was finally towed into port. Investigators searched every deck, every cabin, every cargo hold. They never found the shaft. They never found the railway. They never found the station. Officially, the disappearance of the crew remains unexplained. But one detail was never released to the public. When investigators reviewed the rescue commander's body camera, the underground station never appeared. The footage showed only an empty cargo hold. Yet, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the audio captured something else, a distant station announcement, followed by the unmistakable sound of a train departing beneath the ocean. If you ever hear steel wheels echoing where no railway exists, don't follow the sound. Some journeys were never meant to have passengers.